You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Laura Conley, and she's the founder of the Yummy Mummy Method and is known by her clients as the fun weight loss coach. So I'm so excited to get deeper into that. Laura helps moms break free from the diet drama and finally lose weight for the last time without shame, guilt, or restriction. Laura, thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me. This is so fun. I love this. You're such a bright light.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk all about so many things. But before we get started, can you just share a little bit about yourself and your story and how you became the fun weight loss coach with my listeners?
Yes, of course. So I've been a coach for almost 13 years. But I had my daughter almost 8 years ago. She's about to celebrate her 8th birthday. And she actually got really sick when she was a newborn. So we were in the hospital trying to figure out what was wrong with her, freaking save her. And we were in there for about a month and we came home. I finally am getting like my first real shower after being in the hospital for like a month. I mean, of course I was like, I'm still rinsing off and all that stuff, but I'm getting out of the shower. She's cooing up at me. She's in her bassinet and, I catch myself beating myself up for not bouncing back into my pre-baby jeans, quote unquote, fast enough. And I was like, oh my God, this is so sick. Like, I'm going to pass this down to her if I don't heal this once and for all. So I really had a wake up call moment where I was like, I have to figure this out. Like prior to that, I had really accepted defeat. I really had thought, okay, this is just going to be my thing. I'm always going to struggle with food and my body image. I'm always going to be gaining weight or losing weight or gaining weight or whatever. I'm always going to be the girl that's trying the next thing, only to then like throw in the towel, right? Like I just had struggled for at that point, like almost 20 years. And so I vowed to her and myself that like I was going to figure this out. I'm like, I have figured everything else out. I can figure this out too. And so I went down rabbit hole after rabbit hole and studied hard and ended up actually using a lot of my background in psychology and Eastern philosophy. At the time, I was a yoga and meditation teacher as well. And so pulled coaching tools and then also learned a lot about hormone health and hunger hormones because prior to that I had really like tracked macros and like calorie deficits and keto and all this stuff. And really through a blend of hunger hormone health and mindset and emotional intelligence and accountability, all these different things. Really, I was just testing all these things on myself. I did want to lose a baby weight at that point, but I just wanted to do it in a healthy way, right? Like I couldn't starve myself anymore. And I didn't want my daughter like counting calories at the high school cafeteria with her friends like I was. Like we were having contests of like, who could eat the least, which is so sick. But anyways, I really didn't want her to inherit that. And I knew I had to heal it at the root because I knew if I didn't, she would still like pick up on it. Like even if I said all the right things, right? Like I knew she'd catch me like looking at myself in the mirror with disgust or trying on 17 outfits or turning away from my husband, like if he went to like, kind of grab me in the kitchen or whatever. So it's like, I really have to heal this at the root. And so cut to like, 6 months after that moment, 6 months, year, let's call it. I turned to my husband. I'm like, I really can't believe I figured this out. I actually still can't believe it. Like it was so painful for so long. Like it still actually feels like a miracle. And so after about a year, I started like testing it on all my friends. And then my friends, it was like working for other people. And I was like, oh my God, no way. So it's kind of how the Yummy Mummy method was born. But then it came time, I was actually in another coaching program and I wanted to niche down. I had done a lot
Mhm.
of coaching on golden handcuffs, like leaving your corporate job and like, living out your dream or whatever. I did a lot of that coaching and I wanted to niche down and go all in on helping moms lose weight for the last time, but also healing their relationship with their bodies and with food. And so I doubled down on that and really the rest is history. I felt like so many moms were trapped in diet culture. Like I had this another kind of wake up call moment when I was with my daughter and she
Mhm.
was like about a year old and we're both in the pool and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, all these moms are like handcuffed to the chaise lounges and their cover ups. Like just felt like what I had felt like for so long, just like not comfortable in a bathing suit. And so I really did make it my mission and have made it my mission to like free the moms from this trap that so many of us end up in unintentionally. And it's not our fault. Like, it really isn't. It's like the air that we breathe. It's like the water we're swimming in. So, like, it's just, I have the same kind of level of conviction. Like, I had to do it for her. And now I feel like I have to do it for all the moms and really all the daughters and the sons, too, actually. So, yeah, that's how I came to be.
That is such a cool story. So many things that you said are like parallels to my story. When you said, I just felt like I was always going to struggle with weight. I was always going to struggle with that. I felt like I was always going to struggle with money. Even though I made good money, I just thought I would struggle with it.
Oh,
So, yeah, I am so happy to talk to you. And I think we're going to have a really good conversation today.
me too. Oh my God, I can't wait to ask you about that when you come on my podcast.
Yes, yes. Okay, so you call yourself, and I think your clients call you this too, the fun weight loss coach. So let's just start there. Let's just
Yeah.
continue there. What does fun look like in a world that's usually all about rules and restriction? And do you think the same energy can help women with their money too?
Oh my God, that's such a great question. Well, first of all, I like can't do anything unless it's fun. Like I just do not tolerate it well. So I'm like allergic to anything that is not fun. And I think that's one of the reasons why this method works so well. And actually some people can be really turned off by like the fun weight loss coach or like we're actually going to be having fun inside my program because it seems frivolous. It seems like that's not going to work. Like, unless it's really hard and arduous, like, it's not going to work. And I'm like, no, it actually has to be this way or it won't work because you will inevitably want to quit. And the other thing is, like, when you're not having fun, at least a lot of my clients before they've worked with me, like, if they're trying to lose weight, they're trying to perfect they're perfecting their way. They're trying to use perfectionism, and that can come up so much in weight loss, and that is the opposite of fun. It's like you have to do it perfect, and if you don't do it perfect, then you might as well throw in the towel and eat all of the things and like enter this cycle of dieting and the cycle of yo-yoing. And it's like if we can have fun and be lighthearted about it and actually just learn from our mistakes instead of make our mistakes, you don't even have to call them mistakes, like whatever, plot twists or learnings, like lessons, right? It's like I'm always telling my clients, I know it's cliche, but like you're always winning or learning and you actually can't win unless you learn.
Yeah.
So if you want permanent weight loss, we not only need to have it be fun, but we have to break up with this perfectionistic tendency that so many of us have. And that perfectionism has maybe gotten you certain places in your life, but it won't work if you want to lose weight for the last time, if you want this to be forever, if you want this to be permanent. So, yeah, so fun. It's like there's so many ways that we have fun inside the Yummy Mummy experience. And a lot of it is like undoing. It's like what we're not doing that we used to do, which is like white knuckling, willpowering through, saying no to everything. Again, having to be perfect, really. Some of the eating that happens for my clients is emotional eating. And my clients don't necessarily tend to be huge bingers. I mean, it's fine. I can help them. But like a lot of my clients are like, not eating 2 cartons of ice cream followed by like a bag of Cheetos at night. They're like eating a little bit of like almonds at 2:30, like chocolate covered pretzels when their kids get home. It's like these little picks and tastes and
Hmm.
bites, and it starts to add up. And or like they're eating the kids cheddar bunnies, or they are having a little bit of ice cream after the kids go to bed because they need something that is pleasurable or that is comforting or that is de-stressing. And so I actually love this emotional eating component because it shows us how to take care of ourselves, how to enjoy our lives, how to have fun, how to have some pleasure that doesn't have to do with food. That was a big thing for me. I was like using food for fun. I was using food for pleasure. And food for me now in this day and age is still very fun and very pleasurable. It's just not like number one on the list. It's just not my only way to fill my cup. And so a lot of us are going through, a lot of the yummy mummies, and myself included, we're going through our days purposely filling our cups so that our cups don't fill themselves at 9:30 at night in the pantry with the cheddar bunnies. Because as you know, Jermaine, like our lower brains are these dopamine seeking missiles. Like your lower brain is going to find dopamine whether you like it or not. So you have to be
Hmm.
proactive about it if you don't want the unintended consequences of you not weighing what you want to weigh. I mean, there's a whole caveat there. Like my husband totally eats emotionally sometimes. It's not a problem for him. You guys get to decide whether or not it's a problem for you, right? But I think it's a great invitation into like, oh, how can I actually take care of what I need? Me eating when I'm not hungry is showing me that I have a need that's not
Hmm.
being met in another area of my life. That's so cool. Anyways, that's kind of a bit of a tangent. Yes, we have so much fun inside.
Good.
We go glimmer hunting. We are filling our cups up proactively, and that just makes for a much more rich life because that's what we really want anyways. When we're on our deathbeds, we want to look back and we want to be like, yes, I, played pickleball with my grandkids. Yes, I, whatever, did the big adventure or enjoyed the little like mundane in the everyday. Like there, I found the extraordinary in the ordinary. We're not going to be like, wow, those cheddar bunnies were so amazing. So it asks us to like live a bigger, fuller life.
Yeah. So many parallels. So I talk a lot about emotional spending.
Ooh,
And so emotional eating, emotional spending, it's all about trying to fill a void.
yeah.
And it's false pleasure because, right, you feel good for a little while, because you get that little dopamine hit, but then the problem, whatever you were trying to escape, is still there waiting on you
Yes.
when that little high, I call it the high of the buy, wears off. And so, yeah, so this is so fun. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay, so you talked about you do some, did you say glimmer hunting?
Oh, yes.
What is
Glimmer
that?
hunting.
Tell us.
So I have my clients go glimmer hunting every day. So they're finding the extraordinary in the ordinary and they're soaking up what's already there. So it's like you don't have to go get a massage in order for you to like fill your cup up. But what if you could just like I was just petting my dog before I hopped on here and my brain of course is like you shouldn't be petting your dog. You should be emailing so and so. You should be checking more boxes on your list. And it's like, no, I want to slow down and pet my dog and enjoy the sun pouring in on us right now. Like that is a glimmer. Or like today I was out for a walk and it was just like so beautiful, so perfect. I saw this like grandpa dude on his tractor, which is hilarious, with his granddaughter. I'm assuming it was his granddaughter, but they were just so cute, so picturesque. And I was just like soaking it in and just like cherishing it. Or like my kids. Like, I mean, I could go on and on, but
Yeah.
basically, you train your brain to look for things that would just look boring in a day where you're rushing around to the next thing. It's like if you just slow down, it's already there. And when you glimmer hunt, because what can happen with like the self-care thing is people will be like, well, that must be nice. Like I can't do that. I can't get a massage. I can't go for a walk with my friend every day. I can't. Well, first of all, yeah, you probably can. We could probably coach on that. But if you genuinely can't, guess what? You still can find glimmers every single day. So I do want my clients actively filling their cups up with things that fill their cups up like massages, but those glimmers will help too. Those glimmers fill the cup up, and those are the things that already exist that we just aren't trained to look for because we're so freaking busy.
Yeah. And okay, so I know I listen to your podcast and you talk a lot about self-love
Mm,
versus, well, I think you do a good job of teaching your people how to self-love. But
mm.
I want to talk about the difference between self-love and self-sabotage,
Oh,
especially in your world. Like, how do you see your clients sabotaging their success when they may
yeah,
have made some ground, right? And I love how you talked about you're not going for perfectionism and things like
yeah,
that. How does self-sabotage show up when you're
yeah.
working with your clients?
So I hate the term self-sabotage. I get what you're asking. It's a great, great, great question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the term because it feels too big for me
Okay.
and my clients, I think. It feels like I'm self-sabotaging. I'm like, if that just sabotage, it just feels like so overwhelming. It feels too big. It feels unsolvable. So I like if there's an issue or a problem or they're not getting the result they want, I like to get like really, really stupid specific. Like
Mm-hmm.
exactly what is happening that's giving you the result that you don't like because then we can solve for it besides like the or like instead of this huge self like it's so funny my daughter the other day she's telling me she's like I'm so scared to go to swim. She was starting a swim team. She's like I'm so scared to go, and I'm like what are you scared of? And she's like everything. And I'm like, of
Mm-hmm.
course, like that makes so much sense. Like, let's write a list of every specific thing. And then she named out, like, well, she doesn't know the coach and she doesn't know the kids. And like, is it going to be this? And so we listed out every single thing and then solved for each one of those little things. And then the fear went poof. And I think the same is true with self-sabotage. You're not self-sabotage. You're not self-sabotaging. You are just thinking one sentence that is causing you to take one action that isn't serving you. And maybe there's, like, I'm giving that example of my daughter, maybe there's 16 different sentences in your brain and 16 different examples, but let's attack it one at a time
Mm-hmm. Like that.
because then we can solve it. Because, like, if I sit here and I think the thought, like, oh my God, I'm self sabotaging, or like, why am I doing this to myself again? It feels impossible to me to solve. And it feels so out of my control, is I guess what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
I could totally see that. And it makes you feel overwhelmed because there's
Yes.
so many things. But when you get specific, like, okay, what exactly do you mean by self sabotage? What do you think you're doing in this moment? And then getting down to the nitty gritty, and then you can actually solve it. And a lot of times it's just like you said, just one little thing, one little thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It could be, like we're
And it
saying,
could
it
be
could be,
multiple things too, but
yes.
sometimes it's just one
One.
solving one thing could solve everything else too.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. I totally think that's right. So that's really helped me is just like not really allowing my brain to even use those words because I know that if I start believing that I am sabotaging, like, yeah, enter the case of the ethics, enter throw
Hmm.
in the towel. And so I offer that to my clients. Some people still will say the words. It's not bad or wrong, right? It's just like, it just isn't that helpful for me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So one of my core beliefs is you can do both. It's my signature method. You can build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. So
Oh,
for you, how does that show up in your work? Can women lose weight and still eat the foods they love? What do
oh
you
my
say?
God. Jermaine, I just had the pina colada of 2025 yesterday. Like it was so good. I'm still enjoying it. Yes is the answer. Yes, both and like that was another thing too, is like I am unwilling and sometimes I get mad at myself because I'm so feisty and determined and I'm like, can't you just accept this, Laura? And I'm like, no, because like so I wanted to be able to have my favorite pizza, my favorite brulee. I wanted to be still be able to have wine. I was like, there has to be a way. And so, yes is the answer. Yes, you can weigh what you want and have your favorite things. Now, can you have 6 cupcakes every night and weigh what you want? Probably not. But is
Mhm.
there a way for you to have your favorite things and weigh what you want? 100% yes. So many of my clients, before they become my clients, are eating so many things that cause them to have unintended consequences that cause them to not have the results that they want that like aren't even worth it. Like for me, I would be like snacking on, my husband's trail mix that I didn't even like, or I'd be at the party and I'd be kind of bored, so I'd eat the store-bought cupcake, but the store-bought cupcake's not even good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like I bet you I can't wait to have you on my podcast, but I bet you talk about this. It's like what's worth it, you know?
I know. It's not the impulse buys from
Yeah.
the clearance rack that just ends up in the corner of your closet, but
Yeah.
maybe a nice handbag that you actually really wanted and you really, maybe you saved up for it. And when you bought it, there were no consequences because it wasn't impulsive.
Yeah, so exactly. It's the same thing. So my clients will plan out their yummy mummy munchies. And my client actually just on a coaching call earlier today, she's like, oh my God, I had this soft serve with my family. It was just so nice because I had planned for it. I really enjoyed it. There was no guilt. And so it actually gets better. Like I always say, like if you use my method to lose weight for the last time, it's not like a compromise. You're not giving up something to get something. This is a win-win. And it's like for me, when I was in my dieting days, half the time I was eating, I don't know, 95% of the time I was eating crap or things that maybe didn't serve my body. I wasn't even enjoying it anyways, like, because I was like beating myself up before, during, and after. And now when I enjoy that like pina colada, like I said that I had yesterday, I am like all in, like you're describing with the bag. Like I'm enjoying the whole thing. There's no guilt
Yes.
during, after, before, today,
Yeah.
So
It's the best experience, the best experience. So you mentioned you help your clients come up with like how they can have treats and things like that. So do you help them create a protocol? And if so, I think I already know the answer to this. Is it a cookie cutter protocol or is it pretty much based on the client and what works for them? How do
yeah.
you come up with it?
Yeah. It's so custom to them. It can't be cookie cutter. It can't be one size fits all because it doesn't work. And the reason why I think actually, I don't talk about this enough, but like I really think one of the main reasons why my program works so well is because there's so much choice and agency on the client's part. They know exactly what they're doing and they know exactly why they're doing it. I was actually just coaching a client earlier today, and there was a guideline or rule or whatever you want to call it on her protocol that she wasn't bought into, and she didn't really want it there. And it's like, yeah, good luck getting yourself to follow through on that if you put that on there because you thought you should or because somebody
Mhm.
else has it on there. Like, we cannot have plans. This doesn't mean that there isn't discomfort sometimes and saying no thank you to your current day self so that you can say yes please to your future self, but you have to be bought in to what you're doing and why you're doing it. Otherwise, it's just going to be another diet. It's just going to be another prescription. And like, we are desperate. Like, as humans, we just want someone else to tell us what to do. And I can do that, but it's not going to work. And I will still, like, there's a balance. I still have a role. I'm a coach. So I'm
Right.
coaching them, I'm helping them, but I'm not taking their agency from them. They all know why they're doing it. They know the science behind it, and they're testing and retesting to weigh the pros and cons and the cost benefit or whatever so that they can really see like this is ultimately a choice. I can have store-bought cookies every day, all day, but here are the consequences. If I,
Hmm.
want to weigh what I say I want to weigh, I'm going to have to do X, Y, and Z. And they just get to see, kind of what makes sense for them. But I will say that when my clients balance their hunger hormones, so when they come into my program, I give them a platter and I say, pick off this platter what you want your plan to be. Anything that you pick off this platter will balance your hunger hormones. When your hunger hormones are balanced, you will lose weight for the last time. And we use a scientific method. The hypothesis says if I eat in this way and I do no processed sugar and I do no eats after 8, and I do no flour, let's say, that could be somebody's plan or protocol. My hypothesis is that I'll balance my hunger hormones and then I'll lose weight for the last time. We go out and test that. We collect data and we keep iterating until we have a working theory. They're losing weight the whole time, but they may have to add or subtract something as they go. So yeah, it is definitely not one size fits all because that just doesn't work. Even though some of my clients at the very beginning, they really want me to just tell them what to do. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. You're going to rebel eventually because you're a human. It's why like all the personal trainers and all the nutritionists and all the books don't work, but they're tempting because they do work in the short run.
Yeah.
Like it does work to track your macros for 6 weeks. But if you want to lose weight for the last time, like it really has to be this methodology, I believe.
So good. Because again, another parallel is, some of my listeners, my clients, they would try to like put themselves on a really, really strict budget.
Oh,
And of course, you're going to save money if you're on a strict budget. Of course, you will pay off some debt. But as soon as you don't have any willpower left, all of that willpower is gone, you're going to revert right back. And so all the money you saved, you're going to spend, and all the debt you paid off, you're going to rack it back up again. So similar. And so how
that
can
is
we do it?
exactly right.
Yeah. So how can we do it in a sustainable way that works for you and your life? And
Hmm. Hmm.
that's the beauty of having a coach, someone who's been there, done that. First of all, they know it because they lived it, and then they can help you to craft a plan that works for you. So you mentioned hunger hormones. Can you tell us what those are?
Oh, yes. Okay. So your main hunger hormones are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin. Actually, what's so interesting is if you balance your hunger hormones, and you totally can by what you eat, what you choose to eat, and what you choose not to eat. It's basically like taking a GLP-1. Like the drug companies don't want you to know that you can actually just eat in a way that's really supportive of balancing your hunger hormones. That's what the Ozempics and the Wegovys are doing. They're helping. I mean, we could have a whole conversation about that, but they're helping the patients to balance their hunger hormones. And
Hmm.
you really can do this with food. So insulin is a storage hormone. So every time you eat, your insulin will rise, and that's normal and good. But if you are eating processed foods, ultra processed foods, really starchy, like super heavy, sugary or carby foods, you're going to get a huge spike in your insulin, and it's going to cue your body to store fat. And it's also not going to let you release the current fat on your body. And then it's like a triple whammy. It's going to give you a crash. So not only is it storing fat, it's not letting you release the fat that's on your body. And you're going to get a crash where you're going to become hangry. And that's that hormonal hunger that, oh my God, in my dieting days, I picked so many nothing fights with my husband because I was hangry all the freaking time.
Yeah.
So it's like if you've ever had like kind of a carby breakfast and then 2 hours later you're really hungry, you're like, I
Hmm.
literally just ate. What the heck? Or
Yes.
like,
Yes.
yeah, or like Saturday night you eat a big meal and you're like, wow, I'm not even gonna be hungry tomorrow. And it's like you're hungry like 7 a.m. It's because you're getting a big crash. And so when your insulin is riding this big roller coaster with these huge peaks and valleys, your ghrelin and your leptin, those are the hormones that are responsible for telling you when you're hungry and when you're sated. They're out of whack as well. So you can't actually hear, oh, I've had enough food. Or you can't actually feel like when I'm hungry. So when you can balance your insulin, leptin, and ghrelin, you become insulin sensitive or fat adapted. So you get this nice rolling, instead of that huge roller coaster, peaks and valleys, you get these nice rolling hills, which is appropriate. And that's what creates permanent weight loss among so many other health benefits. So like, I'm always like, giving my clients what they want or selling them what they want and then giving them what they need, right? Because like not only are we going to lose weight and look hot in a bathing suit, right? But we're also going to get so healthy. Like
Yes.
we're going to increase our longevity. We're going to significantly decrease the likelihood of so many lifestyle diseases like certain cancers and metabolic disorders and type 2 diabetes and chronic lifestyle diseases, immune disorders. So I could go on and on and on. But if
Yeah.
you have a balance in your hunger hormones and in your blood sugar, and also don't even get me started about the energy. I'm
Hmm.
so energized all the time. People are always, I mean, I just kind of am, a very energetic person, but
Yeah.
like the way I eat is so supportive of that as well. And so I'm never getting those afternoon crashes. I'm, I just like, I'm ready to go all the time. And it just feels so good to like, it feels like you're like working with your body. It feels like if you've ever had a time, I mean, I know we both have kids, but there a time in your life where you're like your sleep's really dialed, you feel really good about your sleep,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Or like maybe your digestion's really dialed,
Hmm.
The same is true with your food. It's like, oh, we're working together and like this is how we're supposed to feel. So, anyways, I could go on and on.
No, that was so informative. I'm sure my listeners are going to love hearing about that because, those terms like hunger hormones, we hear them a lot, but it's always good to have someone like yourself break it down so that we can really know what they mean.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in, or you say you offer your clients a platter? Is intermittent fasting one of those things that's on the platter that they could or could not choose?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great question. I personally love intermittent fasting, but again, it doesn't really matter what I like personally.
Hmm.
And because I teach a scientific method, it's like I like to include it on the platter because it can work for some people, but you have to test it. I don't know. Now, I will tell you in my dieting days, I tried intermittent fasting, but I was still eating a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot. I was eating some processed foods sometimes. And because I was still eating some, and it wasn't even that much. This is a quick tangent, but I used to get so frustrated because I would be like, I already eat healthy. This is so annoying that I can't weigh what I want. Right. And what I found is that like 70/30 or even 80/20 for me didn't actually work. I have to do like 95/5 or 97/3. But again, because this method isn't a win-lose, I, I don't want to ever go back to eating 70/30 or 80/20.
So,
So,
okay, so what is 70/30? Are you saying like
oh, like
70%
a lot
whole
of
foods?
nutritionists or trainers or people in the health industry will say it's 80/20. You have to eat healthy 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time is where you can have some room. And that just didn't work for me. And
Okay.
maybe I was being dishonest with myself and it was really like 60/40. But my clients actually, they feel a little confronted when I say that. But oftentimes what follows is relief of like, oh, that's why I don't weigh what I want. It's because 80/20 actually doesn't work for a lot of people. And especially as we're getting older, I hate to say it, but a lot of my clients come to me and they're just like me. They're like, I yo-yoed my whole life. But the other kind of 50-ish% that come are like, everything I used to do doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, as we get older, like it does get harder. Yes,
Hmm.
that's just a thought, but I mean, I've seen it in my
No,
job
it's a fact.
over. Yeah. Exactly. But what were you asking? Because now I feel like I went on a tangent and I totally forgot to answer the
I
question.
asked you about, we were
Oh,
talking.
intermittent fasting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, so I personally love intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Um, but I would say, I don't know, 50% of my clients do it,
Okay.
60%. But yes, if you have tried intermittent fasting in the past and hated it, it may have been because you were still eating processed food. So if you're still eating processed sugar and flour and trying to do intermittent fasting, it's going to feel like walking up the
Hmm.
steepest mountain ever because your hunger hormones are balanced. So you're going to have that like hormonal hunger. Um, Anyways, I personally love intermittent fasting because it really can help take your hunger hormones to that next level. It can help you to become more fat adapted. And fat adapted just means your body can use the fat on your body for fuel without throwing a huge temper tantrum. Like
Hmm.
if you're not fat adapted, your body can use the fat on your body for fuel, but you're going to be hangry and you're going to be mean and you're going to be mad and it's going to feel like an emergency. But right
Hmm.
now, like say I forgot to I used to get so mad at people when they would tell me they like forgot to eat lunch. I'd be like, oh, that's nice. Like I would literally never forget to eat anything ever. And now I totally can forget
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
really wrapped up in something else. So
Hmm.
I did actually just eat lunch, but say I had another meeting back to back, it just wouldn't, I'd be able to be, and this is such a gift, I'd be able to be 100% present here, you know, if I
Yeah.
didn't have lunch, which I just love because I don't know. It's just, it's never an emergency, you know?
It's never, yeah. And I would say, I think I would be at least 20 pounds heavier if I did not intermittent fast. So I'll be 46 next month. So this is August 2025. I don't think I've ever shared my age on the podcast before, but today's the day.
Today's the day.
And the pounds were just coming on. And
Oh,
I started intermittent fasting. But here's the thing, a lot of the articles that you read about it, they say eat whatever you want when you're not fasting. And that doesn't work.
good
That
luck with
doesn't
that. Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't
exactly.
work. That doesn't work. So I love the percentages though. I've never heard anybody talk about the percentages. And
Mhm.
so what percentage range do you think most people fall into? Like the
Like my
90
clients,
10?
like it, I think while they're losing weight, like it should be 95.5 or 97.3. Like I like to recommend, like this was another thing that felt confronting to me, but I actually felt so much relief when I made peace with it, which was cheat days don't work. Like I'm
Mhm.
sorry, cheat weekends, cheat days, like for me and my body, it doesn't work. I would just gain and lose the same 4 pounds forever doing
Mhm.
that. And
Mhm.
so for me, it has to be one cheat meal or one cheat treat. I don't even like the word cheat, but like one yummy mummy munchie a week. Like that's the example I
Yeah.
gave was like the pina colada. That
Mhm.
was like my yummy mummy munchie for the week. I like to have one. Some of my clients like to do one or two. I have a couple clients that'll do like a very small one every day. Like when I was
Mhm.
first starting my personal journey, I loved dark chocolate at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just tested and retested. And then dark chocolate, as I was reprioritizing where food goes on the list of pleasurable things in my life and doing the mindset work and the emotional work, like I just didn't care anymore because
Yeah.
I was getting so much from the true pleasures in my life. So,
And there we go again. We're back at like the real meaning of really what life is all about. I think we put
yeah,
so much emphasis on food
yes,
and what are we going to eat today? And when you go on vacation, if you go to like a all inclusive, it's all about this food that you can just eat as much as you want. And so it's interesting. And the same is with shopping and spending and buying. It's everywhere you turn. Food and spending money is all around you. It just
yes.
is.
It's
And
just two
so,
drugs.
yeah. And part of it is that we are using food and spending to entertain ourselves. And I always like to say it's not your money's job to make you feel good. That's not your money's job. But it's just not. It is a tool. It is supposed to enhance your life, make your life wonderful, but it's not supposed to fix all of your emotional discomforts. It's just not what
Yes,
it's
that's
supposed to
so
do.
good. That's
Yeah.
right. That's not food's job either. I'm like, food's job is to fuel your body with nutrition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bonus if you enjoy it, but like, that's not the point of it.
That's not the point. But I love that you can still, have some fun shopping sometimes as long as it's planned, and you can still eat some treats sometime
Yeah.
and make sure you just plan it ahead of time. So, I would say maybe about a month or two ago, I was just like, okay, I'm going to just allow myself treats throughout, like I said, 3 a week. And then I never even got to the third one. And now it's just like probably once or twice a week, I just allow myself. And I know that I can do that. But if I go more than that, the pounds are coming back. They're coming
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one or two is so appropriate for most of us. And I also like it too because if I have like a treat a week, I can keep my hunger hormones pretty dialed. But if you're like creeping up to like three or four or like a treat a day, then the cravings can come back and it just gets
Yes.
harder for you to say no. So that's another reason why, again, I feel like it's a win-win. It's like I just genuinely don't crave the things. And
Yeah.
that can feel like too good to be true or like impossible, but it's so freeing.
Oh my gosh, this was such a good conversation. Do you have anything else you like my audience to know? I feel like we just I think they just heard two girlfriends talking about
I know. I love you so much. It's so good.
same.
No, I would love to hear from you guys. Like, what resonated? What did you like? I genuinely want to. That's like a huge intention of mine going into the fall is like really connecting with other women. So if you guys have any questions about what we were talking about, if anything resonated, pretty please with a cherry on top, DM me. I DM everyone back. I talk to my audience all the time. I love, love, love it. So my Instagram is at Laura Conley Coaching. My name is Laura and then Conley Conley. So that's my Instagram. And if you send me the word plan on Instagram, I will send you my free, well, it's not free, but I'll send it to your people for free when you
Thank you.
when you give me when you send the word plan. But I created a free perfect weight loss plan playbook for your audience because this is like what I would have wanted so bad. It's like the perfect first step if you're struggling even a little bit with weighing what you want and food noise and food drama. It's like a taste of the method. So if you DM me on Instagram, I'll send that to you. You guys can also go, I made you guys a link, which is just lauraconley.com/plan. I also have a podcast. You guys have to come listen to Jermaine over there. It's called Lose Weight for the Last Time with Laura Conley. Although we're getting a rebrand. So it's either Lose Weight for the Last Time or it's called Free the Moms. Because we're
Free the Moms.
rebranding to Free the Moms. Yes.
Yeah, and I will link all of that in the show notes. And then you can always just look up Laura Conley in like Apple or Spotify. And then whatever the name is, her
I'll be
beautiful
there.
face will show up.
Yeah. You're so sweet. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Oh my gosh, this was such a good conversation. I loved where it went. I think it's going to be definitely informational, informative. So make sure you all grab that free plan. All right. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hey, if money is the one area of life you just can't seem to figure out, even though you make good money, you're not alone. That's why you're invited to book a complimentary one-to-one money consultation with me so that we can figure out how to solve your biggest money challenges. To sign up, simply go to jermainefoley.com/consult or check out the show notes. Hope to meet you soon.